All right, so then your first objective is with this big note card. If you missed the big note card from the back table, go ahead back there and grab one. I'm going to move a couple of you because this class is smaller, so if you are at a non-4 set, don't get too comfortable. But if you don't have a big note card, grab one of those from the back table. Your homework is 111 through 115. We're skipping the first lesson because this is the Accelerate 7 class. You'll see once we crack open the textbook. Your first objective is to make yourself a name tent. It needs to. I'm hoping that I do not need to repeat myself in this class as many times as the other class. So I need your attention right now, so I don't have to say this 8 times. It's for your benefit, so I don't annoy you. What your name tent needs: first and last name, front and back, not in pencil. Whether you use pen or highlighter or Sharpie, that's all up to you. I have colored pencils, highlighters, Sharpies, all that stuff up here for you. First and last name, front and back. You can decorate however you want beyond that. I got math symbols because I'm a nerd. That's your next objective. While you are doing that, I am going to get you guys your textbook numbers. As I call your name and give you a number. Hey guys, let me show. Like, if you can't handle Sharpies, I'm not going to be able to get off Sharpies. So let's not play the elementary game. Can we just be responsible and do what we know like is the right choice? Nice. Makes life easier. Appreciate it. Then I don't have to stop class, and that kind of frustrates people. As I call your name and give you a number, go back to the back table, get one of the 7th grade textbooks labeled with all the numbers standing up there vertically, and then come back to your desk. Once you come back to your desk, give me your eyes for a second up here. When you open this textbook, inside of it, gravity, inside of it is this fancy little, this book is property of. Not in pencil again, and I would advise not in Sharpie. I would just use a pen right here. I use a pencil because I don't know if I'm keeping this book. Because I have a teacher book, but to show this. First name, last name, 1718 for the year used, and then it is brand spanking new. So the issued condition for you is new. So this is to help us if somebody finds your book, so they don't have to bring it to me and say, Mr. Hudson, whose book is 63? Because then I'm going to be like, they lost their book. If they can open this up and say like, oh, Alex lost his book, let's get Alex's book back. That's easier, right? So this is why we're doing that. So once you have your book, first name, last name, in that front cover line. Everybody else is working on their name tents. So Rachel Barker, you are book 24 and everything as we get into things. So everyone has a textbook. Are we all good on name tent? Anyone need longer to make their name tent? Or, okay, we'll give you another minute or so. Get your name tent made. Get your name inside your textbook. If you're done with all that, you can just kind of check out the textbook. In your math journal, then. Your math journal is going to want to look like this. Now, name tent is optional for you. That was there as my note to myself. But if you remember what we did in class, when we made name tents, I don't want to lose that. So when you go to leave, you're going to stick that probably in the pocket inside your binder. Your binder should have a pocket or a sleeve or something somewhere that you could stick this. You want to write your textbook number in your math journal so that you have another point of reference for what your number was. We all forget things. It is way too easy. We are asking you guys to remember a lot of stuff. Blocker combination, advisor group, extensions, foundations, all this stuff. So write it in your math journal. You're not even keeping this book today. Notice 1 through 23 was the first class. Until they're covered, the books live in my room. They sleep here, they eat here. Yeah. Sweet. You can bring those later. We're probably not going to cover books until this coming Monday. If you have paper bags, bring them and drop them right here, just in front of my smart boards. I'm not really doing anything with my smart board today, so just make a pile. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, you can put it as many places as you want. I just ask that it's also in your math journal. It'll help us because, so say we find your math journal and for some reason the cover's been ripped off and whatever else. If I can then check, all right, what textbook number, I can backwards figure out who you are. Then you want to write down your teammates, and this is extremely helpful. According to brain research, it takes us about 7 times to to learn somebody's name, either saying it, writing it, doing something with it. So these are going to be your teammates for at least the remainder of this week, potentially the remainder of this chapter. So my small groups, hang on a second. So I'm going to have Zach and Alex. You guys move over here. Wait, no, Wyatt. Is Wyatt still here? Or did he leave his name tag from the last class? So Zachary and Alex, if you guys can bump over there, and then my trees. Now, you're going to write down your teammates' names for a couple reasons. One, it's going to help you remember who they are. Brain research tells us if we write it down, it helps put it in the long-term memory. I'm going to say that again. Brain research tells us if we write it down, it helps put it in the long-term memory. Hence, when we ask you to write things down, it's not just that we like to be mean and we decided that we were going to torture kids for our jobs so we became teachers. That's part of it. But, jokes, okay? I think I'm funny. Okay. So, one of the reasons you're doing that is you need to figure out your alphabetical order. We're going to do that based off first name. So if you want, you could write down your name there also. So if I was working with my group, give me a second. So this is our group, right? I need to figure out alphabetical order. I know my alphabet, A, B, C, well, A. So Amanda would be first, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. I'm second. Q, R, S, T. Ooh. Okay, so who's next? Ooh, we know our alphabet. And Tony would be fourth. So, figure out your order alphabetically. So get your journal, your math journal to look pretty much like mine. You don't have to rewrite your homework again if you don't want, but I'm excessive. And you don't have to write name tag if you don't want. No, you have to still. So can I trust you with this? No, you have to still. We're talking about math. I don't want to do any kind of defense. Everybody else has a math. You guys can always once, and this, like, we won't have to do the playing cards now that you guys already know your groupings. And you can just just assume that you'll, like, stay in the same group area. But, like, if you guys want to move so nobody has to be at the high table, you can come to this one if you want. That's up to you. So the reason that I had you guys look at your alphabetical order is one of the ways that we're going to determine team roles. So if you crack open your book and look at page 4, page 4 shows you information about your team roles. So until we have a role switch, so I'll let you guys know when we're going to have a role switch, and I'll tell you how the new roles are going to work. Until we have a role switch, these are going to be your roles. So if you are the first person alphabetically in your group, raise your hand. You're the first person alphabetically in your group. You are the resource manager. Your goals, your jobs, are to make sure everyone has the resources that they need for the current day. Ignore this right now because that's not true for our lesson. Ask when the entire team has a question. You would be that connection to me. Like, you could come up to me because you're managing the resources. I'm a resource. And make sure your team cleans up and delegates, and like you are just kind of all around helping make sure that resources are managed. If your name comes second alphabetically, raise your hand. Second alphabetically. Who's second alphabetically in our back group here? So, you are the facilitator. You are facilitating the group as you work through these solutions. So you're going to start and kind of guide that discussion. And you're going to keep your team on task. You're facilitating good work. Because then if you get done, like you want to stay on task so you can get to that point of done or that point of extension, as opposed to just like chilling at that point of like, oh, we didn't really try. If you are third alphabetically, raise your hand. Third alphabetically, you are the reporter. Sometimes we all are writing. Other times, only one of us needs to write, and we'll use like dry erase boards or whatever else. In those cases where only one person writes for the group, that would be the reporter. Then, if we go around and we share out as a group, you'd be that reporter. You would share out for your group. And fourth person, last alphabetically, raise your hand. You are the task manager. And if you only have 3 people, we essentially merge the manager positions together. Task and resource manager just becomes one position. So you remind the team to stay on task. You're just kind of making sure we're focused on the right thing. You help divvy up responsibilities if you need. So if you've got like a multifaceted task, you can say, okay, you 2 work on this, us 2 will work on that. You're just kind of managing what you guys are doing. Does that make sense? Our group roles right now? So when you guys work in teams, you want to get used to not everybody can do everything. Not everybody's the president. Not everybody's the secretary. Not everybody handles the money. So as you get older and you work with groups, everybody's got their own responsibilities, and that's kind of what this is setting up for you. We, because we're in the accelerated path, are skipping the first lesson. We are going straight to 112. So flip on over to page 7 and go look at 112. Anyone a really good out loud reader? You want to read for us? Yeah, you want to read for us, Will? Or you read for us yesterday, didn't you? You had something. Anyone else? We can do a couple readers. Let's go Will and Zach. You can have Zachary. You can have the second paragraph. So we'll start with Have You Ever Watched, and then Zach, you can pick up with Throughout.
Have you ever watched someone win a game again and again? Do you think that that person just has good luck? In many cases, winners have strategies that increase their chances of winning. How can you develop a winning strategy? Today we will start to answer this question. Later in the course, you will learn more about analyzing a game.
Throughout this course, it will be important for you to describe and explain your ideas. In this lesson, you will play a game called Colorama. As you play, describe any patterns that you notice. Also, explain your thinking about why certain choices may be better than others. Paying close attention to what is happening as you play can give you ideas for developing a winning strategy.
All right, I got a challenge. I'm gonna wager a bet here. I don't actually have anything to bet because we're 4 teachers, but we can figure that out later, right? So we're gonna play Colorama. I need to go to the store and get candy. We'll wager candy later in the year. I will wager. I will bet. I will gamble with things. But I base my bets on mathematics. So we're going to play Colorama. I have Colorama open somewhere. Where are you, Colorama? Here's Colorama. Right? So this one is actually colored. Orange, purple, green, yellow, yada yada. And we are going to follow the rules according to here. So we all start on orange. Yeah? So let's say maybe I should do this.
It's a dumb board.
Ah! It just needs to be centered. Give me a moment. You guys talk as a group. What color should you have be my spot?
I don't know.
Something has happened with my... Okay, something has happened with my smartboard. I will fix that later. We're all starting in the same place, right? And this says... I want to make sure I'm not disagreeing with them. So the rules of the game, every round we play, we're going to flip a coin or a counter or a token or whatever 3 times. If we get a heads, we're going to move to the right. Heads are positive, right? We get a tails, we're going to move to the left. So I want you guys to talk as a group for just a moment. Decide which color should you want to be your win. What color would you, like, if you end up on, if you choose purple, if you end up on purple, you win. And then choose a color for me. Right? What color should you say, if I land there, I win? And obviously you would like to win. Let's say I'm wagering a bucket of candy, which I'm not. Well, let's say that I am. So talk amongst yourselves, which would be good choices, which would be bad choices. Only 3 times. There are only 3 moves to this game. Well, 3 for you, 3 for me. So 3 times for your moves, 3 times for my moves. So we'll go like you meet, you meet, you meet. Two of these per group.
Trying to get to the most positive side.
2 of these per group. Because you're going to play in pairs, and you get 2 of these per group. So we're sharing those. All right. Now, I think we all have predictions, but I want to play this out for a second. Annie, you're very engaged. Annie, what color do you want to be my color, and what color do you want to be your color? Let's you versus me. We're playing. Because you asked me the details of the game. Which one lets me win? Which one will be you win?
I want green.
You want green. Okay, yeah. What do you want to be my color?
Yellow.
Okay. So either of these greens, Annie wins. Either of these yellows, I win. Okay, let's play this out. Tails. Sorry, that's a Texas Tails. It's kind of hard to see. It's the 50 quarters. They did a special. So who was what? I forget what you were.
I was green. You were yellow.
Well, I know, but let's make. There you go. We're gonna make your dot pink to try to match your hair. Get out of here. Fine, we'll use their game. This is easy. Let's do another one for Annie. Tails. So she shifts again. Let's do one for me. I haven't even done any. Heads. Ooh. Another one for me. Oh, I have to reset the game to play again. This is why I don't like their apps. It won't let me flip again because I've already flipped 3 times. So, we got to flip again for Annie. I'll do this manually. I got another Tails.
Oh no.
Flip again for me. Heads. Flip again for me. Heads. If you don't believe me, sorry, this should be up on the TV, but that's another heads.
This seems rigged. Like you're flipping in a certain way so that you always get heads and or tails.
Okay. So,
I know how.
now don't steal my money. You're going to play you versus a teammate. So, each of you pick a color. Now, you can't pick orange. So, sorry, you 3 figure out who needs to pair up on your twins to make it work, right? Is that, you do that? So, here's 2 for you guys. 2 for you guys, so you're going to need 1 because they've got your other one.
You okay?
2 for you guys. Oh, great.
Hey,
That's why I climb. I'll get you guys your quarters. Hey, you can. If you want to grab a highlighter or whatever to...
No! Wait,
Yeah. Well, there's 50 different state coordinates. They made a bunch of these. Yeah. They used to have a tree where we collected them all.
Have you ever seen the special Texas quarters that say, "In God we trust," the T got smudged out?
No, that's crazy.
Those are extremely rare.
Okay, so one color.
Then we both get 3 chances. I'm the color you're the not.
I say
Yep, that's tails. You're at 1. You win. If you won, you can get heads or tails. I win. So now I'm gonna go on to
All right, bring it back in for a second. I want to give you a couple things to think about. Then I'll release you again. So, if you each, obviously you don't want to pick the same colors, because you either would both win or both lose. If you each try each color, so like one round choose green, one round choose purple, one round choose yellow. If you each try each color and keep track of which one wins, the questions we really want to answer here is there one color that is more likely to be a winner than the other after 3 coin flips? And is there anything that we should absolutely not choose? So, Piper, do you know if there why is there something that we should absolutely not choose?
You cannot, it is impossible to get one.
Why?
Because if you start, there's only 3 moves. And if it's an odd number, you can't return to your starting point. Because you would either move 2 away and move 1 back, or move 1 back, and move 1 that way, and move 1 that way, you would still wouldn't end up on it.
Do we get what Piper is saying?
Yeah.
Orange has 0 chance after 3 moves. You cannot move 3 steps and land where you started. Unless a move could be hop up in your place and stay there. But how would our coin flip not get heads or tails? Like, it's pretty tough. You have to be some kind of magic. So keep playing. I don't want any questions right now, but keep playing. Try the different colors. Try to figure out which is most likely to win, which is least likely to win.
Oh, it's over there. It's the dust.
I don't move this.
No.
Not after 3. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense after 3. You did something wrong. Well, then you didn't play 3 times. That's impossible. Yeah, you each get 3 turns.
That's it. Turns up most out.
Hold up, I'll be right there. Alright, what's up?
I figured out
What?
I chose green this time. I chose green. Yeah. I chose that one. And because I'm on
it out. I like your hypothesis. Keep pointing it out. Make sure it holds true. So then, if that's true, which is the best one to choose to win? So have a rationale to back that up. And if you think you know, go ahead and jot some notes in your math journal. Hey, if you think you're figuring it out, jot some notes in your math journal. If you think you're figuring it out, jot down some notes. Jot down some notes. Jot down. Everybody in class hasn't heard it already. Jot down some notes, just real quick. All right, so take a pause for a moment. Take a pause for a moment. Grab your math journal. All right, so zip your lips for a second. Just a second. Most of the time, I'll let you guys do whatever. So you should have in your math journal. Now, I had to flip pages, but you should have. This is interesting. If you want to talk about this, this was percentage of death. An 8th grader brought me a math problem, and he was trying to figure this out. But so you should have all this stuff. Can you stop flipping the coins for a second? Mr. Dunn, grab a seat. Thank you. You should have all this stuff down. I then moved on with Math 7, so I got to flip my page. That's all Sharpied, so I got to go another one. So you should have titled the date for today, 8/22, and I want you to jot a couple notes on Colorama. So I want you to jot down, don't choose and why. And what you would choose. And why. What have you figured out at this point? If we're jotting down, give me things to jot down. We'll share all together in a second. So if we set this up again, if I make that bet on a bucket of candy, what color would you assign to me? And what color would you choose? Because there is a way to work this game. Like if you walk into a casino and you try to figure out, every game is rigged towards the house. Every game is rigged towards the casino winning, which is how they're so super duper fancy. You walk around the casino, downtown Hollywood casino, it's amazing. You're in like a palace, which you can't walk around. You have to be 21 to go on the floor. But you look around and like, how can they afford this? All the money that people lost. So if you were going to make these choices, bless you. Then, in your textbook, you can look at 1-8, 1-9, and 1-10 if you'd like. We'll bring this back together in about 7 or 8 minutes. Jot down your couple notes. Then together as a group, look at questions 1-8, 1-9, and 1-10. And actually, 1-8 you've probably already kind of discussed with your partners. So then the extension questions in 1-9 are good. You cannot be on the floor where the games are played unless you're 21. That's state law. I don't know if it's different in other states, but in Ohio, to be, like, say the game is right here, for me to stand here, somebody has to check my ID. Like, literally, when you walk in. Yeah, they play observer areas. The 18 plus areas.
Or they have the walkways that go through the casino. I mean, something
I've never been to a casino.
I've been to Las Vegas.
My father-in-law. Actually, if you ever want to talk about a really interesting game, the game of craps. It's a dice game. It's really interesting. And it's all probability based. And my father-in-law, you guys will hear stories about my family and my friends all through the year. He is a truck mechanic, diesel truck mechanic, semis. Brilliant. Super smart. He's figured out that, as everything is stacked against you at the casino, but there's a little bit of skill involved in certain games that you can kind of work it. So, as your group, discuss these questions in 1-9 and 1-10. So, is there any color you could choose to guarantee winning? Is there any that'll win every time? Discuss as your group, then we'll bring it back together about 5. Is there a color that would guarantee a not win? And then, in general, what makes a game fair? Ooh, that dangerous word, fair. And is Colorama fair? So, talk about that together. I'll bring you back together right about 10:30. We'll wrap this up all together. So, talk with your groups or your partners or whatever. Okay. So, choosing an order.
Because it's way less probable.
Do it 100 times. You do it 1,000 times. So, what I'm arguing is I'm guessing is just luck. Every time you guess, you have 50% chance. What I'm arguing is that there's this thing called the law of large numbers. The law of large numbers is that as you do something that is random, roll a die or a thing, I might be able to get a heads 5 times in a row. It doesn't matter if you get heads 50 times. The law of large numbers states as I do something more and more and more times, it will average out.
What did you guys think?
Which normals have heads, have tails. Normal on a die is 16% distribution for every side of the die. Yeah, so the law of large numbers is great. It does not always hold absolutely true because chance comes into play, but most often it does. We're going to share together in a second. I need to make the random cards. I think we're getting comfortable enough for random cards. I think we're all pretty discussed on this problem. Not disgusted. We're all pretty discussed. We've talked about it. Who wants to share? Zin was just trying to share it with me. Or you want to share a whole group, dude?
Sure. So I had said not to choose orange and green because there's no way with having to go 3. Yeah, it's impossible to move 2 spaces or move to this to where you are, like where you start with 3 spaces. Because in order to go back to orange, which is where you start, you have to stay in place for 1 and then to get to green is impossible.
Did we all eventually get to the point? And give me like a thumb range. So thumbs down is like, nope, we did not get there. Thumbs up is, yeah, we totally got there. Anywhere in the middle, obviously, is that gauge. Did we all eventually get to the point of figuring out green was a bad choice?
Yes.
As you played, you should have seen green never wins. Now, if we played enough games, who can talk about which is, by the way, this is a real problem. Anyone see my coffee mug? My blue one that I not this one. Don't think I'm crazy.
Is it that one?
Ha! It was hidden by scissors. And I literally could not. It was just perspective. Did anyone figure out then? So we know don't choose green. Anyone figure out what you would choose and why? Alex, what do you think?
Purple because it has the most, because you're more likely to land on purple than with yellow.
Now, why do you think you're more likely?
Because if you were to choose yellow, because you need 3 straight heads or tails in a row. But if you choose purple, then you just need like heads, two tails, two heads, one tail. So you just need two of one.
I love it. You guys said something really interesting when I was playing against Annie. Annie ended up 3 tails. I ended up 3 heads. And a few of you were like, well, that's rigged. He's got a special cord. Like, is it impossible to get 3 heads in a row or 3 tails in a row?
It's just impossible.
So Piper, why did people say that's rigged?
Because it's such a low chance to get it the entire time. Because when you're flipping a coin, it's not as accurate because you're flipping and there's room for error, but it's a 50% chance. It's 50-50. You get half of one, half of the other, usually flip 10. So if you're flipping 3, there's you can't have 1.5 coins, so you have the third one, which is going to be random. But it's a really low chance to get all 3 the same.
Now, hold on. Really low. Be careful with the word really.
Compared to the chance to get 2 of the same one.
So, let's look at this chance. So you said it's a half chance every time we flip a coin, right? So to get a head, I want this to be a head. I have a half chance of that happening. Guys, can we just hold on to it? Then, what do I want for my second one? I want 3 heads. I want another heads. What's my chance of another heads? And I want another heads. What's my chance of a head? Half. What do you think I should do with those fractions?
You multiply them and then do 1/6 and you get them all.
Be careful. 2 times 2
Okay.
times 2. Eventually, you'll have these memorized. It took me a long time working with them to memorize them. I know 1/8 converts to the decimal that converts to the percentage of 12.5. Around 13% chance. That's not that bad. That probability is actually like fairly good. Like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna bet a bunch of money on it. I mean, it's still 13% out of 100. Not that amazing, but it's not that hard. But then if I want a 4th head in a row, cut that in half again. If I want a 5th head in a row, cut that in half again. A 6th, an 8th, a 10th. As I get more and more, my probability, you'll learn about this, my probability gets exponentially smaller. All the way down to as tiny as possible. Still, there's a chance. But very, 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 very. Like if I told you flip 100 heads in a row, you're like, well, that's impossible.
It's not possible. It's just like very, very, very.
Yeah. So as we go through this year, be careful with saying like things are impossible or things are extremely. Like be careful with those words. Let's check out what your homework is. So we should all have in our plan book that your homework is 111 to 115. So in your textbook, if you flip, let me get the camera back up. If you flip to page 1011, Ten has math notes, methods, and meanings. One thing you'll notice as we go through, all of these things in the math notes boxes are also in your student workbook, in the toolkit. So this whole section is in the toolkit. So perimeter area, all these like vocab keywords, that's in your toolkit as well. Here's your homework. Now your homework is called Review and Preview. You should be reviewing some things that you've done before and previewing some things that you maybe necessarily haven't done before. It might be a challenge. But you only have through 15. So you have 5 homework problems. Now, I would prefer that you use your book and do this. But your book can't leave school. So AO and extensions, you can come back in here, grab your book, and use it. But when I release you, the first thing you need to do is get your books back up there in order as quickly as possible. The morning class did it in under a minute. So your challenge is to do it, and you're smaller. You're a smaller group. So get them in order back up there. We will discuss your homework tomorrow. You may use your classmates as a resource. So you can work with each other, AO and extensions. You can grab one book and share it if you want. If you cannot use the book to do it, then I have printed copies of it. If you know that you're an athlete and you won't be here for extensions, at the end of AO, grab one of these. Or if you know that you don't have AO or extensions today, grab one of these, because this is the copy of what is in the textbook. But if you don't need one, please don't take one. I hate making copies when I don't have to. I hate killing trees. Does that make sense? Any questions? Please try to get your homework taken care of this evening. Get your books back up there, starting now. I lost my copy again. "15 seconds elapsed."
Can I keep this quarter?
No, I need those back, please.
Right here.
Your resource manager should really be the one to bring back. Oh,
No, that's not.
throwing stuff. That's how you poke an eye out.
Okay, yep.
You need
I
my math notebook.
No.
I didn't write everything.
And I probably won't do.
This stuff you shouldn't have written down. It's just, you don't need name tag. You need your textbook number, and you need your teammates list. That's the biggest thing. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's been a return on my investment.
We're done. We're done.
I don't know exactly how long the morning class was. Mr. Smith said under a minute. You guys were at 55 seconds. Or maybe even less than that. Yeah, so answer your homework answers should go in your math journal for right now. We'll talk more about your toolkit later, but don't fill up your toolkit yet. Just use your math journal right now. Makes life easy. It's yours to keep if you want, or just bring it back up. Like, I'll take them. Yeah, we're done. That's it. Notice how fast class goes now that we're really, like, into stuff. All right, thank you guys very much. Have a wonderful day. Hey, do not share any of this information with anybody else.
Okay.
Okay? Do not ruin this for the other students that are going to do this.
And if you do, Mr. Hudson will behead you.
I don't know about beheading.
Always
Those are
better.
kind of messy.
He will probably
Yes,
behead
you
you.
didn't mark it all up.
Most likely.
For the next class. Thank you very much. Yeah, keep your name tags. Don't lose them.
He has kryptonite.
You can take down anyone who has a plan.
And if he breaks it,
Okay. He should just take like an elective math. He hasn't done like financial algebra.
I don't know. He doesn't.
Yeah, I get that, but I would take financial algebra if I had the choice to go back.